Ladies and gents, we have a problem.
Hey there, thanks for turning down my road. If this is your first time here, my name's Carl. My little brother and I both work for local farmers full time, but we both also farm together with our cattle herd and our hay operation. If you don't have the joy of farming yourself, I'd love to help you experience it through this channel. Whatever your background, you found the right place. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch.
Well, we got the 8370R off the chisel and hooked onto the VT, and ladies and gents, we have a problem. You see this big transport wheel here? It's supposed to move this way, but it's not supposed to move this way. Uh-oh. So I don't know if you can see it or not from down there, but what actually happened was the wheel seal right up here that seals the grease in, that seal went bad and it leaked grease out and dirt in. So that's not a good deal. We're gonna replace the bearings and the seal, and I did find one other wheel we're gonna do as well. You can see the dirt in the grease right there. Look at the texture of it. Not good. So I'm pretty sure everybody's done this cost-benefit analysis where it's like, you know, I could walk into the shop and get a wrench, or I could keep fighting with this tool that wasn't designed to do this. Ah, see? It would have been a waste of time to go get a wrench. And there is part of the seal. So I hope that this area, where the seal was running, it is grooved a little bit. I hope I can get it cleaned up to the point where it's not going to hurt the new seal. Okay, so I've got the that groove all filled in with JB Weld or Permatex. Kind of smoothed it out. I think I'm going to take some emery cloth and try to shape it back down, but I think that'll do a pretty good job of keeping the seal from getting torn up. All right, wow, that is really nice. Well, there's the old seal. I've never seen this happen before. I mean, this is just dirt. I've seen that. But look, some of the rubber from the seal, this is rubber from the seal that came apart. It's actually lodged in the bearing. That rubber is stuck in that bearing so hard. Wow. Ah, there's so much dirt in that grease. Here's a pro tip. I like to use the old race to pound the new one in. All right, I got the grease packed into the new bearing. The new races are pounded in. The new seal I just pounded in. I forgot to show that, but my apologies. So now I'm just gonna take some grease and line that new seal with it. Then I'll get some grease on the shaft, on the spindle shaft, and we'll put this whole thing back together. That is really smooth. That JB Weld did the trick. I did pack the other bearing with grease, but I'm not going to pack this one with grease because when I fill the hub up with grease, it'll push grease out through this bearing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right or wrong, okay, that feels really nice. I'm gonna pump that thing full of grease, figure out how tight I want it, and we'll be done with this one. This is gonna take a while. course, there's the hole. So I got to determine if I can go one more without getting it too tight. I think we're gonna go right there. There we go. That is real nice. So I hate to complain. Well, all right, I like to complain just a little bit, don't we all? Take a look at this thing. So I've got the new race driven into this small hub. This hub is on the wing wheel that I just took off. And if you look all the way around this, look, they did not put a groove in the housing so that you could get a chisel or a punch up behind that race from the other side to drive it out. If you look at it, look at it from the other side. There's not a good angle to get through there at, first of all, because it's kind of a small diameter hub. There is barely any of that race sticking out to get a hold of. Like if you try to hook it with something, look at that. It's just, you can't hook anything on it. The only way we could get this out was to weld a couple of big bubbles of weld onto it so that we could stick the chisel through and beat on those welds from the back. That's just bad craftsmanship. I've never seen a hub that didn't have a slot behind the race for you to stick your chisel and your punch in to pound the race out. Come on, guys. That's nice. So what we're doing right now, we are on our way to do a controlled burn. We hope we're gonna control it. We're gonna control it. The wind is very light tonight, and the wind is also in a direction that helps us out with the way we want to burn this. We've got about 7 or 8 acres that we're going to burn just outside of town. It's a pollinator habitat, and it's mainly grass, but there's some trees that are starting to come up out there that we don't want to be out there. And we're going to try to injure those trees by burning this off this spring. So as you can see, the wind is super light. It's out of the north, so we're lighting the south ditch first to kind of make a buffer zone along the highway. This highway is actually closed for road construction, so there's no traffic coming through right now, which is perfect since the smoke's going across the road. We're gonna put the edge of this out right along the highway, and then when we get this ditch burned up, we'll go light it up from the north, and it will really burn fast. Well, this is looking really good. We've got a nice wide strip burned off along the highway here. There's still hardly any wind at all, but I think it's going to burn really fast from the north. So this nice wide strip is going to keep it from jumping the road. Let's go light the top side of this thing now. like that it's pretty much over. Well, that worked really good. Having that trailer full of water, partially full of water, that was really awesome. I didn't even realize it was gonna work that well where he could stand up on the front of it and we could drive along really slow and put it out as we drove. That worked really well. Unfortunately, I don't think we accomplished any of what we thought we were going to with these trees. I don't think the fire, I mean, it was good and hot, but I just don't think it lasted long enough to do any damage to them. We shall see. After we get a rain to kind of knock down all of this ash, I think I might bring the bush hog over here with the tractor and just mow these trees off kind of high enough that they're not going to puncture a tire or anything. If we let this go, these trees are just going to completely take over this grassy area and it will no longer work for what it's supposed to be. If it eventually just becomes an overgrown thicket of trees, first of all, it's not going to be a good pollinator habitat. Second of all, if it ever wants to be put back into farm ground, it's going to be a real problem trying to do that. Man, that is quite the sunset over there, isn't it? Don't you just love that view? Well, it is Saturday afternoon and I've got the 6430 back on the rock picker, but guess what? I won't be doing this for much longer because it's just about time to officially rock and roll. We're trying out a little bit of tillage today. We got the tillage rig set up this morning and we're pretty happy with how it's doing. I'm gonna get the planter out tomorrow and maybe try just a couple of acres and make sure things are gonna work before we're ready to put the big push on planting later next week. So I hope you're excited for field work. I know I am super excited to get myself in the planter tractor and get going on that. I can't wait to share that with you guys. Also, it's not too late to get your very own free emergence flagging kit from Precision Planting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the second half of last week's video. If you'd like your own free kit, use the link precisionplanting.com/Carl. I'll also put that in the description. Thank you so much for hanging out this week and riding along with me. I'll see you next time.